Hello, hello, hello. I'm Ed Jones II. I'm the founder of the Beyond the Field program and an experienced player development professional. This podcast is here to bring exposure to the player development field with the goal of creating generational impact in athletics and surrounding areas. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to spend time with me on this platform. In today's episode, we will continue our series called The Questions of Player Development. I would also like to announce that I'm writing a book that will cover these questions as well. We will dive into the questions and their answers after this ad by our sponsors. All right, welcome back. Today, we continue the series called The Questions of Player Development. The past year, I collected a number of questions for my next book that I would write. I decided, why not bring those questions to this podcast? So in today's episode, we will cover questions 10 through 12. Question 10, how do you help people see the potential that you see, but they don't recognize yet? This question is actually one of my passions and why I got into coaching and leading in athletics. Ever since I was young and just in my life, I've always wanted to help people get to the place that they couldn't get to by themselves, or a place that they didn't even realize they can get to. But for the sake of this question, I will break down how I've been able to do this. So the first thing I think is care. I think the first part is care. You have to care for the individual. There's a quote that says, I don't care to know how much you know until I know how much you care, you know? And so to me, it's hard for you to say that you want to help someone reach their potential if that person feels like you don't care for them. You know, so if, let's say, someone came to me that I know doesn't care about me, doesn't respect me, doesn't, you know, value me, my gifts, and anything that I bring to the table, and they're coming to say, hey, I want to help you reach your potential. To me, that doesn't, I'm kind of like, well, why? Like, what are you going to get out of this? You know, like, or am I reaching my potential to help you? So I think care helps bring that wall down. And as you care for a person, it's easier to say, hey, I just want to let you know that I see greater potential in you. Let me help you get there. So that once again, you got to care for people. Caring for people helps you want the best in them. That's what people believe. It's easier to believe someone wants the best in you when you know they care. I believe that trust is built in care, and they are able to trust that you want the best for them based off of that. Once again, just going back to that thing. If you care for me now, I want to know how much you know, because I know how much you care. The next part is explaining to them what their potential can be. So you care about them. That's already said. That's the foundation. But you know, a lot of people in my life have said, "Hey, man, you got a lot of potential." And it's like, and I'm sitting there like, "Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it." But where is this potential? Potential where? How can you help me get to this potential? What do you see? So I would say describe their potential. You know, for me, I remember one time I was coaching. It's my first year coaching varsity back in 2011. And we had a safety that was really good. And I brought him to the side and I said, hey, man, I'm really coaching you hard because I see your potential. You know, I see you as an all district player. I see you as this. You know, I know you're a great athlete that can do a lot of things. And what happened was he ended up being one of our better players. He was an all district player, but this actually helped him in his first love, which is basketball. He became a better player. He went from a JV guy to a starter on the varsity team that went 3 rounds deep in the playoffs. But I was able to say, this is the potential. And I said, you can be this player. You can be an all district safety. You can be a team leader. You can lead us in interceptions. And he was able to do that. So I was able to tell him what I saw based off the potential that was there. Now that I'm more seasoned in the game, I got a little more years behind me. I give examples. So I say, hey, back when I was here, you may remind me of this person. You're not this person, but you may remind me of this person or the situation where this happened or where this was able to come about. And so you're able to give examples and then let them know that you will help them reach it. So it's easy to say, hey, I see the potential in you. It's there, man. You got so much potential, man. Like, the future's bright. You got to wear shades. Okay, no, so what do I do next? Let them know that you'll be there. And then the final step for me is creating a plan for them. So not only have you let them know that you'll be there, when you told them their potential, and not only do you care, you're going to create a plan to help them reach that potential. You know, the Bible says without a plan, the people perish. And so you need to create a plan for this person. Here we go. Here's the plan. Let's put in this much extra time. For the young man who I talked about earlier when I was coaching, the safety, it was, hey, let's watch this film. Let's look at this player. Let's come 15 minutes early before practice starts so we can talk about what we're doing, why we're doing it, and how we're going to get it done. How you help them in reaching. Let them know how you help them. in the plan. So, hey, here's the plan. This is how I'm going to help you. This is where I'm going to help you reach your potential, but then you have to take care of the rest of this here. Um, and then what do they need to do on their own? Like I said, you need to take care of the rest here. This is what you need to do. I'm doing this much, but you can reach it. It's your potential. You need to give these efforts to get there. And then once again, give them the path. You've had that path, lay that path of how to reach it and when they reach that potential so that they can move to the next area. So that's really how I answer that question there. Kind of had to formulate a formula because I just kind of do it, naturally by caring, describing, and then setting a plan for their potential. Question 11. How do you keep team members focused on the journey and not the destination? This one is tough in life for me. I had to learn this myself first. So before I can help team members, I had to help myself in this because I'm a big picture person. I'm a creative person. I see the beginning and I see the end. And it's just, that process, enjoying the process. And so for me, the way I have done it now with the team, I haven't had a full team yet, but I've had the pleasure of working with people, is communicating, clearly and frequently. Clearly, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to get here. And you communicate frequently, because I've been places where you get a lapse of communication and it's tough to focus on the journey when there's no communication. So the only communication I've got is a start and where the destination is going to be. And there's no communication in between as we're on the journey. And so I believe that communicating clearly and frequently helps. Present the destination very detailed. That helped me also. And it's helped those that I've led. I've seen when I present the destination, instead of just saying, hey, we're going to have, this career fair here. It's like, no, this is what the career fair, this is what we'll get out of it. These are the things our players get out of it. Here's what we want to see, different things like that. Present the detailed destination. From there, you want to talk about steps needed to reach the destination. So, okay, here's the beginning, here's the destination. All right, now we're on this journey. Here are the steps that are needed. I need to communicate the necessity of completing the task given to each. So these tasks will help us get there. And they're very important because we can't get there without this. And while you're talking about the task, delegate the task. So for instance, let's use the career fair model. Okay, we're going to get this career fair. Okay, now somebody has to communicate with companies. Someone has to, logistically communicate with our facilities department on what we need to do, how we're going to do this. Let's, put a layout of what it would look like. How does it work efficiently? Those things there. So as you're delegating and communicating the steps, you're delegating the task also. And I think keep the main thing daily. What do we need to complete today? What do we need to complete today? What's the main thing today? We know where the finish line is, but let's stick to what we need to get done today. Also have progress meetings with staff to go over the things necessary to master the task at hand. I like progress meetings. I think a lot of people, and I understand why people communicate with this like this. They want to communicate when everything's set in stone because they don't want to, steer people, whatever it may be. But I like communicating progress. Like, hey, here's a draft. This is where we are right now. This is where we need to get, but great job, you all. We're getting there. But I think the progress meetings help people see that the destination, that we're getting closer to the destination, and it's not as far as it may sound or necessarily be. And then I believe in highlighting the importance of the journey, like talking to people about the importance of the journey and the development that happens. So those tasks that you've given, you could talk about the skills that they can create for themselves through that task, the things that they can learn, how they can grow professionally. As the team keeps focus and actions towards the day's goals, how the goals of today and the focus for today can help the team overall grow professionally. So yeah, that's how I would keep a team focused on the journey and not the destination. Knowing the destination is you need it, you need to know it. But I think there's a lot of value in the journey. There's a lot of value in the journey. You get to work with your team members, you get to know them, you get to see their creative side, you get to see them do things. Of course, everybody sees whatever the finished product is, but you get to see the growth that your team members individually and as a group have made during that process. All right, question 12. Question 12 says, how important is faith in this role? This is a question I haven't gotten too much in this role and was a little shocked when I saw it. I personally believe that faith is definitely needed in some capacity for this role. Now, I will share with you, I will break down the areas of faith that have helped me in this role. I want to make sure that I'm being honest and true to what's helped me in this role. And so I will walk through this. The first area of faith that has helped me is my personal faith. So I have a personal relationship with God through his son, Jesus Christ. This relationship has helped me immensely in the way I care for people, love people, develop, and take action in helping others. My personal mission in life is to be Christ-like. And in my time reading the Bible, spending time in prayer, I have come to know that Christ is the ultimate example of love. Also, in my time reading and praying, I've received wisdom and strategy on how to help provide positive impact in others' lives. So when I'm reading, maybe it's Proverbs or I'm reading a story, like for instance, this summer I was reading the book of Nehemiah and how he was leading people. And just those are gems that I received to help provide positive impact in the lives of others. In this role, I believe my personal faith has been very, very, very valuable to what I've been able not only to do, but in the way I've been able to help others and see things and see the needs that others have. I am confident that God has placed me in this role to create generational impact in the lives of others. The second area of faith that has helped me in this role is having faith in people. You have to believe in people in this role. You have to. You have to see the best in them, as stated earlier in the episode. People know if you do not believe in them or have faith in them. I know people who haven't had faith in me. I've seen it. I have seen when I don't have faith in people, and them seeing that they know that I don't have faith in them. So you have to believe in people in this role, and it can be tough. It can be tough because you're looking at, I would say like if it's sheet of paper, you're looking at actions, right? You're looking at actions, you're looking at engagement. Can they get it done? Will they get it done? You have to believe they can. You have to believe that they can make the decisions necessary to develop themselves. And then the third area, the last area of faith that has helped me in this role is having faith in the program. Now, one measure of faith is in the overall program you're a part of. And so that's the head coach's vision or the administrator, or whatever may be in your case, what they're doing. You have to have faith in what they're doing. You're a part of that program. But for the point of this podcast and the player development focus this means you must have faith in the programming you have for players. So the individual programming that you and your team are setting up, you have to have faith that it is doing so, that it will develop players. You're going to have to present this not only to players, recruiting parents, coaches, administrators. So you have to have faith in what you're doing. People was mentioned earlier, know when you don't have faith in something. So if I'm talking to recruits, if I'm talking to a head coach, administrator, whatever it may be, they know when I don't believe in what I'm talking about. You can feel it. This can't be evident of you and your player development program. If you have a program, you and your members have to have faith in what's going on. You must know that all the seeds that you are planting will sprout at some time. Those seeds will grow eventually. You have faith as you continue to sow every single day, positive impact, positive energy into someone's life. You have to have faith that those seeds will grow. You must know that the conversations you have in daily matter, the time that you're spending with them daily matter, all that matters. You have to have faith that you're the right person for that job and your program is creating generational impact. Those are the three areas of faith that have helped me. Like I said, my personal faith, faith in people, and then faith in the program, programming I've set for the players. Those have helped me. You have to believe in some capacity. There has to be faith for you to be effective. There has to be faith that you have in this role, faith in yourself, faith in what you're doing. And then for me, my personal faith, but faith has to come in some capacity in this role. It's time for the former player shout out. I want to give recognition to those that I've coached or led who are doing great things beyond the field. This episode, I want to give a shout out to Peyton Anderson. I didn't coach Peyton, although she was an excellent golfer for us at Hightower. My connection to Peyton was the tremendous help she gave me in my role as recruiting coordinator at Hightower. Peyton would document visits from colleges, update the recruiting big board, and lead the mailing correspondence with coaches who visited our schools. Peyton became so elite at helping me in my recruiting coordinator position that she was known by coaches who would come by and recruit our team. They would walk down the hall and say, "Where's Peyton? Oh, hey, Peyton, how you doing?" Or, "Hey, I just need to send in Peyton." Peyton's the one handling everything. She did an incredible job. I'm proud of her. She was just, after 2 years, my last year, she was running it like a machine. Peyton went on, like I said, she was a golfer. She went on to play golf at Texas Southern University, and currently she has begun a career in law enforcement. Peyton, so proud of you once again. Thank you for helping me during my time at Hightower. and continue to just make that impact as you go into the career field of law enforcement. Well, that's all for today. Thank you for taking time to listen today. Go follow Beyond the Field on Twitter and IG at BTF_program and on Facebook at BTF Program. These episodes are also loaded onto YouTube, so you can find us there. Search Beyond the Field Program and subscribe there. Tag us on social media and let us know what you learned about player development from today's show. Use hashtag the PD pod as the hashtag for our show. Go visit the website, btfprogram.com, and check out the resources and the blogs. Subscribe to this podcast on the platform you're listening to. Now, here's your call to action. This is imperative. Please rate and leave a review of the show. It would mean so much to me. I need you all to, I'm getting messages, and thank you, first of all, so much for you all listening. I love our community for this podcast. This is our podcast, so I need you all to leave a review of this podcast. Share this podcast if you believe it will benefit someone to learn more about player development. Next episode, we'll continue our series on the questions of player development. We'll cover questions 13 through 15. We'll discuss the areas player development professionals focus on, mental health development, and this role on the professional level. I look forward to the next podcast. Thank you for tuning in and spending your valuable time with me. God bless you. Have a great day. Go out and create generational impact today. Don't wait. Create that generational impact today.